Welcome to webbikeworld.com. This is a quick look at the SJCAM SJ4000 Wi-Fi action camera. For the full review, photos, and all the details, please visit webbikeworld.com. The SJCAM 4000 is about as close as you'll get to a cheap GoPro clone. In fact, most of the GoPro accessories are interchangeable with the SJCAM 4000. This is the SJ4000 Sports Kit. It comes with all of these accessories other than the suction cup mount, which we have reviewed separately. The price is very reasonable. You can get these for around $70. The Sports Kit even comes with a waterproof case for that money, and this is the Wi-Fi version. Probably the biggest surprise is that we had zero problems connecting the camera using the SJCAM app, unlike most of the other Wi-Fi action cams we reviewed. The SJCAM has the GoPro-style square box shape and button set. The on-off and mode button is in the front, and the menu choice button on top. On the side is the Wi-Fi button, which doubles as an up button, with the down button for menu choices below. On the other side is the HDMI port, a micro USB port, and the micro SD card slot. And on the back is the live view. Push the on-off button in front to start the camera, and the live view starts. The app also shows a live view with a very slight delay. Push the button on top to start video recording and push it again to stop. Push the mode button in front to switch to still camera mode. Push again to view your stored videos and photos. Then push once more to get to the menu system. You can move up and down in the menu system with the buttons on the side. There are 7 pages of menu choices, so there's a lot of customization you can do with the SJCAM 4000. Push the button on top to enter the menu. You can even change things like sharpness and white balance, color tone, and other features. We downloaded the most recent firmware version 1.6 recently and installed it, which made a big difference in video quality. Resolution is 1080 at 30 frames per second or 720p at 60 frames per second and other non-HD formats. We'll take a look in a minute at some sample on-the-road videos. The Sports Kit comes with a bunch of different accessories, including a charger, but the kit contents seem to vary over time from what we've seen. This is the Wi-Fi version of the SJCAM 4000, and in a big surprise, the Wi-Fi connectivity works flawlessly. Download and install the free SJCAM app, then press the Wi-Fi button on the side of the camera, then connect to the SJCAM's Wi-Fi signal with your smartphone or tablet. The app has a complete menu system that repeats all of the choices in the camera. It also shows a slightly delayed real-time video image, and you can store and play files from the SJCAM 4000. So that's a quick look at the SJCAM 4000 camera. Let's see some on-road samples now. As always, don't forget to click on the gear icon in the YouTube player and set the video to its highest resolution for best results. This is our standard action camera test ride road. The SJCAM 4000 is mounted here in its waterproof housing on an accessory suction cup mount we had on hand. It's mounted on the 2016 BMW C650 GT we're currently reviewing. We have the solid clear back on the waterproof housing, which blocks the wind noise but lets some of the exhaust sound through. The SJCAM 4000 takes good quality video. This is a high contrast day with lots of overhead sun and shade, but the camera does a decent job of handling the exposure changes. We left the camera on its stock settings, and it's overexposing maybe by perhaps a stop. The EV and ISO settings can be modified slightly in the camera to account for this. But overall, for this type of inexpensive action camera, it does a pretty good job of compensating for the rapid changes in exposure. The colors are neutral with a slightly oversaturated sky. Again, the saturation can be modified somewhat in the menu settings. You can see as we move into the shadows here that the sky is way overexposed and blown out until we get into the light again. These are pretty dark shadows that dominate the view for the sensor, so the camera is compensating for that. These types of cameras have a limited exposure range, so the result is the overexposed sky until that becomes dominant in the frame. But overall, it does a good enough job, and you can see as we move into the full sunlight that the exposure and quality and sharpness is very good because the automatic exposure doesn't have to change. Here we are again in full sunlight without moving in and out of the shadows, and the exposure and detail is very good, even capturing the details in the sky with the white clouds in the bright sunlight. Here's a handheld look in 720p at 60 frames per second. Actually, the 1080p 30 frames per second seems to be the preferred choice in the SJCAM 4000. Perhaps because the frame rate is interpolated in 60 frames per second or something, I don't know for sure. But the detail in 1080p at 30 frames per second seems better. Also, this again is overexposed in the shadows on the default camera settings. So that's a quick look at the SJCAM SJ4000 Wi-Fi action camera. Be sure to read the full review with all the details, photos, and more on webbikeworld.com. Thanks for watching.